I know it's in my head. Follow me around, okay, black face, hey, follow me around, okay,
Well, here we are, folks, into the game, of course, getting kicked off shortly, as I do believe things will be getting moving in just a moment. Looks like the pistol... No. Yes? No. I'm not sure. The hood's not playing ball. Okay, there we go. I was going to say. Surely we're not all just running in. But we're back. And we are in. One win, Nemiga. You are on the side of one win, Alan. What are you thinking? Vertigo going to be a challenge here? They start off on the CT side? Is that enough to get going?
Possibly. As I said, they do really enjoy this map. So, needless to say, they're going to be comfortable going into this one. Heavy A start, though, from Nemiga. They're not wasting any time. And their utility, I dare say, Scriv, we're going to see a sandbags molly and then a nice A execute. That is my prediction.
Bit of a classic. Been around for a while, but it's pretty effective, of course. It does seem... One win, though, as you're kind of alluding to, ready for it. Bell on the corner here, as indeed looking to try and get the first heady. Not going to happen, but it's good information gathered. Minute and 20 left into the round here. So far, Nemiga taking it slowly, but they have gained the control just by, I guess, showing the sheer numbers.
Bell here with his matchmaking ban. Falling back. A lot of players from one win have rotated over, so needless to say, they made the read. They saw a lot of kind of presence, and now the hit starts coming in. Fostar gets the first kill. 2 fast frags on the bomb site. Now he's really trapped in towards Ivy here. He falls, and it's just Travis. That was a brilliant split from Nemiga.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it looked like, you know, we saw a bit of shakiness on the shooting and all that kind of stuff. There are a few jitters here, it does seem. And a quick bit of analysis would indeed say that Bell is Deco. But yeah, he's been a bit naughty on the old matchmaking. Travis, however, against 3, does find a clean headshot onto the first, but it's going to be very tough to get through these two. He's tunneling in. Not ready for the player down below. I think he now knows maybe where both of them are. If he's just about read into this, it's still going to be tough. Not a lot of time. He's landing the shots, but we all know how this goes, right? Playing in and around the ramp, you just do not have to face in the pistol. He'll get all the kills, but he ain't got no time for the defuse, so Nemiga taking the pistol.
Yeah, such a shame, isn't it? Had a kit. A real opportunity there for Travis, especially if he had a smoke as well for the bomb. And maybe Nemiga there overplaying the situation when they should just played the bomb. But anyway, they get the pistol. That's really all that matters. But now we get into these second rounds. One win clearly fully investing, and somehow glowing. He's got an M4 in play on a second round. This is crazy.
Yeah. Where... I guess the drop across from Travis, yeah, is what it looks like. Although he's got armor, and he's only spent 2,900. So there's a bit of magic going on. A bit of financial magic going on, I suppose, to get the M4 into the scene. Certainly not something that's going to be expected. So Nemiga have got to be careful. They know that fact. Out towards middle, though, I do like it, right? In a round like this, take it slow. Clear those angles. Try and force a deagle off, right? You treat it like maybe an AWP in a round like this, where you throw a flashbang. That's a little awkward, though. JO getting in the way and taking some unneeded damage. They're very ready for the B split as well. Again, you know, a lot of numbers in and around this area. Just the one so far. Double for Travis, however, will get traded out. Unfortunately, the M4 in the wrong area. If it was here, could have been a different story. There it is, though. The Tracers being followed through the smoke, and a 3 versus 2 now ensues. The bomb's being dropped in an awkward spot, and this is not impossible, Alan.
He's looking so good. The util was great, but glowing. He was on the wrong side at the time of the hit, but he's rotated in. Done a lot of damage, and somehow we're left alone. Just with Box, gets the first 2. They line up. AK recovered, just 6 HP, and Deco, we believe, finishes it off as Nemiga. It looks really good as they were splitting window. The nades are great, but somehow Glowing just found these 2 frags, one through the smoke, and from there it fell apart. They'll be really disappointed with that.
Absolutely. I think certainly it is kind of the M4, right? You stick around, you spray through the smoke a bit silly. In a rifle round, maybe, but in a round like this, you don't expect anything of it. So, really, really curious. Ooh, the way that that's worked out. Flamey going to get his head rung. We'll be able to survive here, and on that MP9, ultimately just holding the area, looking for information, etc. So, Not the end of the world, but at the same time, it is a nice bit of damage for Nemiga in the start of the round.
Lack of a bomb plant as well. Not done good things to Nemiga's buy, but Gio catches Foestar alone. Opening pick. Gun recovered as well for good measure, and now it's really tough for one win. How do you spread your players across the map?
Well, we've got Deco, this individual that we've talked about, looking to try and even the numbers back up, not able to find the kill that he was after. A bit more damage traded back, but again, retaining the man advantage on the Nemiga side of things. Pretty important. They will be ready. They have a bit of utility to answer back, stacking on top of each other as well to help each other out, brings it back to a 4-on-4. Molly's split them up on that T side, so no real opportunity at a clean trade. Going to try and use the numbers and the weaponry, but as they push their way in, it's pretty solid holding here from one win. There's not a lot of utility, those smokes especially for the T side, so they just can't find the space. And keeping it at range, the rifles get the work done. One win, it looked dodgy in the start, but they will indeed hold on to that second.
Yeah, I think Nemiga there a little bit suspect with kind of the spacing as they swung up. It looked like Jaya went out way ahead of his teammates. There were no real trades, but overall, go look at the one-win players. Great defense, keeping it clean. Exactly what Nemiga didn't do when they had their opportunity to close out against the pistols. And now look at the money as one win. I lost that pistol round. They're looking so good here. And Flamey, surely he's on track for loads of kills, but only gets one. Not the best showing from him.
Yeah, well, you know, easing back into it, I guess. They've had a few games this week, so maybe no excuse, but definitely looking a little weird. Not as weird as Foestar, though, just running in and getting clapped. But either way, they come away with the round. That bare minimum of 3. You know we're back when we pull out all the cliche phrases. But indeed, the economy's not going to be affected too negatively, is what I'm getting at. This is now a pretty tell-all round for Nemiga's T side. I think, for me, need to be getting this one on the board. At the very least, a close with a bomb plant type scenario, because it's early, but this one-win side looking pretty clean, pretty well put together so far.
4 on towards A for one win at the start. Needless to say, they won this ramp control. That is a total certainty. So many nades being dropped. And actually, look at the minimap. You see Nemiga reacting. Players out mid. And if they catch Travis alone, one win could be in real trouble here if they don't get out of this A stack.
Very true. Very true indeed. Oh, man. However, they are dishing out a lot of damage to those players down behind the smokes. So could deem that it's worth it. And now the small shuffle's coming in. We've got glowing in towards middle, and Foestar making his way over as a bit more noise is being made. All the same, it's faking out. Mind games right now from Nemiga trying to find a way in, but it is going to be difficult. Somebody needs to do a lot of heavy lifting here. What with these HP bars looking worse for wear. They have, however, gotten most of the utility out of that CT side. So a lot of, dry swings. Flamey does get the first. Traded out immediately. That's the ramp control that they're after. But 30 seconds left. It's going to be tough, I think, for Nemiga. They've not quite got enough ground for my money.
Hey, it's a ruse, though. Look at it. They pulled the rotates over towards A. They've said instead, we know we put pressure on A. Let's hit B instead. And it's only Travis in defense. Behind quad. Molly's raining in. He gets a great timing, though. Chill goes down immediately. And it's so hard to trade this player behind this because you can't spam through it. And he gets a lineup, 2 more, 3 for Travis. Hero this round is one win look formidable at the moment.
Yeah, played perfectly right. I mean, it's lovely to get the lineup, but ultimately what happens is he just gets timing on the first. Again, spacing a little dodgy for a quick trade or a rush down kind of trade. And then he just has to hide there. Like you say, it's very, very difficult when you've not got the Molotov. You can't really shoot through that at all. So it's on Travis to peek out, and he peeks out at the perfect time, catches them while they're looking the other way. So really difficult stuff. Nemiga not helping themselves. It has to be said. Big man Flamey, while blind, will indeed recover back a couple of dodgier anti-eco rounds. Of course, the half buy coming in here for that Nemiga side. Mid-rush. Flamey's been playing now. He's been a bit vulnerable, boys. We might be able to take him down. Well, not this round. Not going to be the case.
Yeah, I think for sure one aspect we have to mention on a round like this is it's not so much about Nemiga winning the round. They've just got to stabilize their money and equally get one win's money down because it's really starting to get out of control here. We've got Travis, 6,700. Glowing is almost on 10,000, and certainly after the round win here, plenty of money on the other players. So Nemiga are staring down the barrel soon of 2, 3, maybe even 4 round wins in a row to break that money. And we know how strong that CD side and Vertigo can be. So it's only early days here on this first map, but I'm really scared for Nemiga on their map pick.
Yeah, so far. It is, it's a difficult map as well, right? We always talk about it moving very, very fast. And that can make things difficult to recover, ultimately, which I think is what we're both getting at. And they're not showing us very much to convince otherwise. You know, we have not seen too many bomb plants. Not really seen any close clutch situations. So if only they'd gotten that 50-50 go their way. And we always talk about with the pistol, there's a bit of that random element to it, you know, especially on the T side on a map like this where you just go pretty default, pick up some utility, rush your way in. If the USPs don't get those quick headshots, which was indeed the case, you can just crunch them, as we saw. It's a very well put together pistol, don't get me wrong, but it's certainly a very easy thing to do. So, yeah. We'll see here. Ah, man. Another weak rifle round in terms of the utility coming in from that Nemiga side, working with what they have, and Box gets taken down through the smoke. It starts very, very poorly in another must-win round.
Yeah, it feels like Nemiga are starting off these rounds really passive. That was the second gun round in a row that one win started 4 on towards A. They get the opening pick this time, but there's no opportunity for Nemiga to punish. They're playing so slow behind the smokes in ramps, really passive in mid and B. It just feels like they're giving one win essentially the whole map to play with, and especially after you give up an opening pick. Where do you go from here? You've got one smoke and 3 flashbangs. Make that 4 now, but they really need that opening pick, and even from here, this is going to be tricky.
Nice find from Glowing. Does get tagged up. Oh, the catch onto the second is pretty massive, to be honest. They thought they'd got away from him. Deco on this AWP as well. Looking solid. Holding cleanly. It will indeed be big man Chili here. Oh, gets taken down. And unfortunately not quite able to pull off very much. Seems like the names are a bit backwards there on the UI as well. Just clock that. So it is Chili with 1 kill. Bell Chonok. Chonok. We don't know. He's on 4. All the same, closest round they've had for a while, Alan. And there was still 2 left for 1 win.
Yeah, for sure. And money here is amazing. Glowing started off this round with 16k. Getting a little bit nerve-wracking, and don't want to beat a dead horse, but even on these rounds with just a half buy, we need to see a few frags from Nemiga, don't we? 3-4 frags to do so much work, especially as we get into the later stages of this half. And you can see 1 win here. They realized if they're on the pistols, Nemiga, they're going mid. Let's put 2 in mid, and Deco, easiest frag of his life, and looking very clean so far in this anti-eco.
Nice find from Box, though. There's a little bit of threat with that AK. We shall see. Jo checking the corners and wins a left eye peek there, so pretty cleanly done on the dry peek. And they have tiny bits of utility to work with. See what they can find. If they can get a bomb plant here, very happy indeed. And I mean, with these conventional smokes that you see all the time on that A-bomb site, you'd expect them to indeed, at the very least, go for it. So, we'll see. I think 1 win are going to give it to them. Boost up over the smoke, not really finding anything as yet. Might get someone on the exit, not going to be the case. So, full-on retake, 3 versus 3. First one we've seen for a while here, Alan.
Certainly feels like Nemiga's best opportunity for a round, and considering they lost the first 2 frags, not too bad going. But it'd be so good for them to actually convert this one. And so far, 1 win expelling a lot of utility, trying to gain ground, and only now getting up onto the bomb site. It's a player behind sandbags, but decapitated by Deco. 2 more over towards ramp. 1 falls. Make it the second as Deco's doing so much work. 4k for the CIS AWPer, and when he's up 11-1, you've got to be nervous on the other side.
Yeah, for sure. On your map pick of all things. So the next map's Dust 2, which, you know, we famously call the AWPer's playground. So, indeed, it is a very scary prospect. Him him going, and Travis looking really, really good. We do have a bit of a tech pause here from OneWin, actually. So hopefully nothing too lengthy, but would not be the start of the season without some tech pauses, of course. What do you reckon? What do you reckon the issue is? Maybe, you know, a bit more of a physical tech issue. If you know, kind of.
I don't know. Those weren't the craziest flicks from Deco, so you wouldn't have thought he'd, hurt his wrist too much.
Maybe
That.
that's
So maybe
true.
I don't think that's the problem. Maybe it's Flamey is a little bit nervous about them coming mid again, so he wants a bit of a pause. I don't know. Hopefully we're not here too long, and hopefully that's the HUD bugged and there aren't two AWPs on the T side. That'd be a little bit scary.
That would be a little scary. I think it is going to be the case that we've had an Nemiga player just drop out for a second. Should hopefully be back. There we go. Everything back to normal, as it should be. Just get everything reset in, and it looks like we should be good to go in just a few moments' time. So, yeah, I think certainly a difficult position that Nemiga find themselves in. Best opportunity that they've had for a while in terms of the buy, thanks to that bomb plant in the previous round. So really need to do something with this, guys. Otherwise, OneWin are just going to be in that position where they're like, cool, first half secured. Let's keep going. Super confident. Slightly less pressure because it's not our map pick, and prove what you were saying, Alan, really, that they like to play this map and it's somewhat of a risky pick from Nemiga.
Yeah, for sure. And it looks like Nemiga have got a little bit more aggressive here towards this ramp side as some shots exchanged over top of the smoke. Deco's coming out on top for the... Disbalance coming out on top for the moment. So that's a fairly decent start. But in terms of map control, none taken yet. Not the best smoke there from Deco, let's be honest. But Nemiga, again, 5 stacks up in ramp. If anybody in OneWin takes information on mid and B, they're going to have all the info and make some great rotates. So they need to get on with this.
Yeah. Moving a little slow. So we'll see. They're all grouped up together. Yeah, not a lot of deeper control. Faux start up on the boost. Catches the attention. Out goes Glowing. And he's able to find another. It's all coming together very, very nicely here. Flash is a little dodgy, but he will get the kill nonetheless. JO's traded in the meantime, but what more can they get done here? Bit awkward around the body there as Box is able to find Glowing somewhat unawares. Again, the flash is not quite perfect, but we're still in a man advantage scenario. Box as well, below half HP. Bit of an off angle from Flamey. Perfect time to pull it out. Looks pretty solid from here, if I'm to be honest, folks, but we'll see. Moving in, slow but sure. They don't have utility to work with. Down goes one, down goes the second, and it's all too easy for OneWin as they just keep on winning. Not just 1, but 8.
Yeah, the boost was nice, though, wasn't it? Around that Ivy position. Good frag from that, and I think it was quite abruptly obvious that Nemiga not using a great deal of utility. Maybe the plan was to contact up anyway and try and catch OneWin by surprise, but clearly it didn't work out. Play behind sandbags. Easiest time of his life. No Molotovs onto that position, so... a little bit confusing. But overall, it's not looking great here for Nemiga. Again on the pistol armors, we're lacking even the bomb plants to go for repeated buys. And that money from OneWin, it's taken a very slight dent, but it's still brilliant here. So, I don't know. The word I like to use in these sort of matches is always traction. And it feels like Nemiga have no traction at the moment. And even in that sense, how do you even know what to call going into future rounds when nothing's been working on the rifles?
Yeah, for sure. Those set rounds, as we like to call them, just really not happening. I mean, to be honest, Nemiga, a team in the past, were thrived on just kind of absolutely chaotic play. Really just running around. Maybe a lot of that, though, was predicated off the back of a guy like Lollipop being able to dish out the damage. So, 3 rounds on the half buy. They have managed to find their way in towards the site, looking relatively good. Get the bomb down, 4 on 4, but this is where it becomes tougher again. You are on that lesser weaponry for the most part, and of course, no utility. So, OneWin, just biding their time, happy to let the plant go down. You kind of have to on the A-bomb site of Vertigo, and now they will start to move in, gaining a lot of ground as they do so. Already trying to go for a quick flank here in behind. Keep your eyes on that one, as we do have Box. If he gets good timing, could get away with absolute murder. He's been spotted by Deco, though, and of course the frontal side of this. Post planned. Oh, not quite able to keep it together. Is there enough time for the defuse? I think it's going to be awfully close. You know, Alan, the knife kill might just have done it, and it does. Nemiga, against all the odds, will get their second round. Goodness me.
I was just about to praise One Win for such a clean retake, but that was chaos there at the end with the knifing as well for good measures. So, let's reset from that a little bit. But certainly from the Nemiga perspective, they needed a round win. And even when that went 4-4 and they were just on the pistols, it almost felt like a must-win position considering the scoreline so far. So a much-needed round, but of course, they need to convert upon that and disbalance. Opening pick, they needed that one as well for good measure. Now convert it and string some rounds together to at least get something out of this T side.
Yeah, super important. And I think as well, you know, we look at a solid rifle round here, of course, from both sides. You need to prove to yourself that you can get it done with the rifles, not just in those looser rounds that pistols can deliver. So, very curious round. Very important round. Slowed it way down. I do like this. You find that opening pick a gift. And a big name as well. So, no need to get giddy. You've got plenty of time to work with.
Nice Molotov. That lands in towards Ivy. Allows for these A ramp retakes. So Nemiga taking some control. Left side smoker there from Disbalance. Molly as well on towards the end of Ivy. So a lot of pressure on this A bomb site. Bomb is here as well, but Glowing. Where are the flashbangs? Gets a free first kill. Good trade in the end by Ochonok. But overall, Bomb going down. Flamey taken low. One win. They might even think about saving here, and indeed they do. Nemiga finally some success on the rifles.
Yeah, getting there. There's still a lot more work to be done for sure. You know, 12-3 doesn't look too much better than a 13-2, but it is baby steps at the moment. And they are crunching on this save, so they might just be able to take all the weapons away, which would be a relatively big deal. Some pretty poor players, and that is the AWP, of course. Travis trying to do his best to stay alive here. He's going the right way. There's a player in behind him that is going to find the frag as he walks into him. Unfortunate. So they will indeed all go down in the end. I think they'll just about be able to put together a buy, but this is the key time for both sides, really. One win looking to hold on to the super solid advantage that they've got. And Nemiga, they will break the economy if they win this one. So the run back, definitely possible. This round is going to give us quite a big picture of how things will indeed pan out towards the end. So we'll see. One win, they lose the advantage early. Deco goes for an aggressive peak. Are they going to change things up, or will we see just same old setup?
Yeah, also from an economic perspective, One Win's money has drained so fast here, and maybe later on we'll look at that kind of unlikely clutch. Knifing in the smoke is a very pivotal turning point to give Nemiga a chance into this one. Before the moments, 5 alive for both team. A lot of nades expended by either side on this ramp. For the moment, no damage exchanged, at least from the guns.
Glowing, risky, looking to move in. Oh, does find the head of the first. He's got support as well. Trades come in. Glowing's there. It's a little difficult. He will eventually go down, but with 3 versus 2, the numbers are up for the One Win side of things. Deco's still around with the AWP, and the rotations, of course, on the way. Very, very slow movement from the contact AWP, and they're unsure. Do we fully commit? Looks like they are indeed going to go for it. Deco continues here on the contact. Drops another, spots the final player. They know where he's at. And a 1 versus 3 for the AWP in such close proximity is very, very difficult. Disbalance trying to be a bit sneaky. Shadow spotted, though, as the smoke begins to dissipate. And Flamey will take him down. One win back on the board, back to their usual tricks. And it's a pretty convincing round at that. So Nemiga not all the way back to square one, but I don't know, square two, is that how it works? I'm not quite sure. But they, unfortunately, have not made too much progress with that risky, crazy knife kill that comes in.
True, but at least they got some finances in the bank, so there will be a reinvestment here from Nemiga. We still have the AWP over towards Disbalance, but especially in that AWP matchup, Deco, man, has looked so good here, starting off on the CD side, so dynamic, and again, One Win switching it up. Nice high, lower, mid setup as, again, to reiterate the point, their win percentage might not look great, but they are so experienced on this map. They're so comfortable, especially on the CT side across the board.
Looking to give themselves the strongest advantage possible then. Definitely on the way for that one, Flamey. You are right, mate. There is a guy there, and he finds his back end. So, yeah, not the most glamorous way to go out for Jo. Will be found pretty early. He was also there on some, holding and I think going for some utility and things like that as well. So, pretty nice frag to find. Flamey, although some rough early rounds, is definitely finding a niche in towards middle and changing things up. Crispy frag comes in from Belchonok every time. It's not easy to get out, to be honest with you, Chief, if you don't mind. Maybe changing it up a little bit. Either way, A1S of Glowing is in pretty close tow, and he's able to bring it into a 4 versus 3. We do have a retake, and for the first time over on the B bomb site, so we shall see. One win with new territory, new ground to approach here. Maybe not going to be the cleanest. Yep, Nidus Balance finds a free one onto Fostar. Another comes in. The AK's crunch glowing. And now just Deco up against 3. Does not fancy it. The B hit falls apart for 1 win.
Yeah, you can see the nice small little piece of team play there between Idis Balance and Chill. Idis Balance posts on one side of the generator. Chill holds the other, takes 1 shots. They reverse, hold the other sides. And Box the whole time is on the flank. Maybe 1 win could have done a little bit more of their utility, but overall, a much stronger round from start to finish from Nemiga, certainly versus what we saw earlier on in the half. So some signs of life. We're up to 4 rounds, so at least it's a little bit more respectable. But on your map pick, 6 for me is kind of a must-have here. They need to keep going.
So we'll see. Another has to be done kind of round. We do see the investment coming in from 1 win, but not great. Box, though, going to go through. This is somewhat risky. There's a lot of players playing close to that. However, Glowing gets followed, and he will get taken down. That's an A1S right in the middle of ramp. They can't really battle for. So pretty big kill. They don't quite know it yet, but indeed, it gives you the advantage. It also has taken an awful lot away from 1 win, not just a player. So great start for Nemiga.
Very slow stuff. No surprises there. We've seen it the whole half. 3 towards A, some passive stuff. Mid and B. Dropping a few nades. 1 win on the pistols outside of Deco, so for sure, any route back into this round feels like it's got to come off the back of Deco. And you wouldn't put it past him, given the half he's had so far. He's in towards Ivy, posted up. Bomb is on A, so maybe get some opportunities. There's actually 1 win. It's a good read. 3 on A. They're making the right stack.
Nemiga are unsure. Don't have a lot of time available to them, though. Flamey, where he's always been. Born for mid. Oh, and there you go, mate. He knows it. He knows it. And he felt a presence. And he wasn't wrong. Another kill for Deco has come in on this A-bomb site. Nade's a bit awkward. Fostar gives his life away, but there's not a lot of time. In comes Flamey with the AK, looking for 2, but he can't get it. He's dropped the bomb, though. And with only 10 seconds left, what do we do here? They're going to try and look for the kill. Deco finds the player in Ivy, and he's able to make it away. Plant coming in. There is just enough time. Nade over the top doesn't quite do as much damage as he would want. Trying to bait things out here. USP is out. Maybe has information that he's low, and that would kind of be false. So we'll see how this pans out. It is going to come down to the positional play. The AK goes up, and the USB comes so close. 13 HP makes the difference. But Box will win it in 5 rounds now for Nemiga. Has indeed been earned. Yeah, I'm not sure if, Flamey had communicated, I've definitely hit him. I've definitely hit him. The AWP is difficult there, but all the same, Nemiga, by the skin of their teeth, they get through that force spike.
Honestly, I'm surprised the nade didn't do even more damage, but again, another clutch, keeping Nemiga in this one, and considering how one-sided the first 5, 6, 7 rounds of this half was, to be up to 5, and with 1 wins by, they've actually turned this around big time, Nemiga. There was a world where they just lose this map completely from the start, but they've really got into gear. Individuals are showing up better, and the team play is so much cleaner, and another opening pick, 1 win. Looking out of sorts in these early rounds at the moment.
Yeah, a little frustrated for sure. I think that's kind of how it feels to me. But some damage traded back. Certainly not out of the question here. Deco, A1S in hand, not his usual weapon. Will manage to find one. It's Fostar that goes down quickly, though. That is the problem. He needed a frag there. Absolutely. We've got glowing on the backside. Yeah, it would have been absolutely massive, dude. This is a little difficult now. He does get one, almost taken down on the repeat. Travis going to be by himself with a deagle. They have to go for it, of course, being the final round of the first half here. He's been spotted out, he's been finished, and they know where glowing is coming from. Nice find onto Jo, but he will be traded out. So there you are, the turn of the half looking relatively good. That's 6 rounds. It's what you wanted there, Alan. So, indeed, I think it's certainly an interesting one now that they've managed to hit number 6.
Yeah, for sure. And as I was saying, considering how the half started, to get up to 6 rounds and look very competitive towards the end, they'll be very happy about that one panned out. But even so, it is their map pick, trailing on rounds, and as always, second pistol is going to be important to set the tone here. It does still feel like if OneWin win this pistol and convert the second, this could be well out of reach for Nemiga. So, as always, important pistol round. Let's see what Nemiga has in store for us.
Well, I suppose the flip in Nemiga's sense is they want to see what OneWin have got in store. It looks relatively similar. We don't have the Molotov, but we do have the Hero P250 and some utility to play with. 1-for-1 trade, very nice indeed. Ragdoll of glowing always looks hilarious there. There are a lot of bodies on this CT side now ready and waiting. The boost is a great read. You know, deep smoke comes in, but it doesn't matter because there's still a headshot angle for Chill to play around. It is going to be the ultimate recovery here. Deco can't get it done. It's all on Flamey. Nice one tap, but he's traded instantly, and that will be Nemiga getting the pistol and denying away the bomb plan. So this is really looking good now for the CT side of Nemiga on their own map pick. You know, you've got all that in play here, and they have definitely turned things around from, what, the 8-2 they were looking down the barrel of? So, pretty good stuff.
Yeah, it wasn't just the scoreline either in the first half. The money was so out of control for OneWin. It was difficult to see a route at all back into the half, but cleaned it up towards the end. Nice pistol, and as you mentioned, denying that bomb plant is so massive. Look at the buy here from OneWin. They've got 2 nades remaining at 1 minute 38, but it doesn't matter. Contacts into opening picks. Nemiga, you can't lose another second round. That would be disastrous.
Yeah, overfacing. And I think the argument that we always have as well, on the T side, it's not ideal, but on the CT side, goodness me, it is going to screw you. Absolutely. Flamey, back to his old tricks. This map for him is very small. It's just the middle area, you know. He either lives and gets kills there or dies there. Every now and then we see him on a different bomb site, but he does look out of sorts, so certainly interesting. Not quite sure what's happened here. We've given away a couple of easy kills, a nice little double pump retake type deal of the ramp area, nearly a double in for glowing, but not quite able to get it done. It looks so good. I mean, Flamey goes down in middle, and that's kind of, yeah, sure. There comes a point in the round, though, where you have to go, right, play it like a rifle, tighten up, you know, let's do this properly. And I think, unfortunately, they didn't quite make that call. And a couple of those Deagle players just getting caught, isolated, and they've given the chance back. It should be a 1 round here. Travis trying his best round the corners, but he can't get it done. So, Nemiga really getting away with that round when, I don't know about no right, but it looked very good for OneWin, and all of a sudden it just fell apart.
Yeah, for sure. And towards the end, it looked like Travis had the bomb, and he was way off from those A players. The A players just stalled out, and Nemiga, they group up, go for the information play. It was a nice play, but I think the point you're getting at is maybe OneWin shouldn't have allowed the opportunity. Nevertheless, Nemiga stave off the reset. A little bit nerve-wracking. Very heavy eco, and that's a nice lineup if I've ever seen one. Box will take that one. 3 fast kills, 5 on 2. Make that 5v1. Star. Ooh, that's a cheeky one. 2 fast frags. Looks good on the highlight reel, and yeah, overall important thing is Nemiga finally just converting a pistol round. So important for their map.
Yes, absolutely. And as we touched on, you know, for the CT side and all that kind of stuff as well. So really, really solid stuff here. They're able to bring it back in and make things a bit more interesting. But we are here with the first rifle round for the second half. This is really where OneWin are going to have to start to prove themselves a little more. We came close in the force buy. And they're just going fast. I mean, Fostar blinds himself. That's never ideal. He does make it out. Box with a ridiculous frag through the smoke. They've got to know that there's a player up. They do indeed. You know, Molly comes in, pushes him away. So we've lost a player and a lot of damage to boot. One win trying to go fast. Not going to work. Nemiga absolutely ready for it.
Yeah, adding the aspect that map control is still in the hands of Nemiga. One win still have to take this ramp area, and a lot of utility expended in the meantime as well for good measure. Looking good so far. Nemiga, though, pretty passive stance. You can just see chills here on the bomb site. We've got Box jiggling over towards Ivy. And they're leaning plenty of numbers on B for the moment. So really looking at one win here. Where do they choose to go, and how do they choose to use this remaining utility?
Just off the mark with the nade, but as usual, smokes coming in here. One win. I think they'll get a bomb plan at the very least. Just depends on how much further they go, and they need a very, very clean entry here. We'll find the first. I disbalance, though. The further back angle, it does give, you know, positional play up, but of course, he's able to find a frag. Box has been heard, and also gets a kill. Second, no, not quite going to happen. There's not a lot of time here, though, and now the smokes have dissipated. Bombs dropped out in the open. Should be easy pickings, and it is. One win. The idea was there, but again, the execution not quite clean enough. Nemiga starting to convince us a little bit here with these rounds.
Yeah, towards the end there, as we said, one win really lacking in the nades. Flamey was the only one with a smoke. He tried to smoke the left side behind those default boxes, and I think he missed it. I think it landed too far to the left. And overall, there was no real cover from the back of that bomb site, and Nemiga could take all the nice duels they wanted to. Easy enough there. Idis Balance starts this one off as well. Looking good. So Nemiga, from a huge deficit, in the round lead and in a great economic position.
Yep. Looking really solid. Rush out towards middle. I mean, that's fair. It's kind of a throwaway round. They just want to get into the next rifle buy. But things looking really good. Really, really good. So one win. It's now their time to pull off a recovery and keep it consistent in the same way that Nemiga were able to do so. Certainly a game on our hands here. It was looking very good from the get-go. One win, though, they have lost the wind from their sails, and they are yet to find it again. Lost the direction. So we'll see another fast approach up ramp. Nice nade damage comes in. That free damage is always going to be welcome. No kills as yet from either side, though.
2 players mid for Nemiga. I think they need to get over towards A thick and fast. Really isolated are these aggressive players. It's a nice first frag from Beltronic. Well, this balance goes down to the Molotov. And you can see on the minimap now, Nemiga reacting, all 4 players. Or at least 3 of them on this A side of the map. Looks like an information play on B, so they'll know exactly where one win are. Very penned in here on one win. I think they need to hit some good shots to break some of these crossfires if they choose to go up onto A.
Flamey on the backside, hoping that somebody pushes into him. Certainly for my money, it looks like they don't quite know what to do with him. You know, he brings some experience here, but where do you put him within the team, you know? And stick him in at mid on the CT side. Let him do his own thing on the T side. I'm not sure that he's necessarily a player that you want to leave to his own devices. But we'll see. Maybe I'll eat the words. Meanwhile, spam through the smoke coming in here, and a kill lands. Not looking good. Chill thinking about going through. Not going to go for it. We've got the man advantage. Just relax. It's all good. Plenty of utility left as well for the likes of Jo. So really looking good here. Flash over the top. Buys a minuscule amount of time playing in and around the smokes. They are trying, to be a bit cheeky. Flamey, good for 1. Trade is there. The timing is so unfortunate. Meanwhile, Jo on the backside, left in the 2 versus 1. Travis going to peek into him, and he loses the fight. Oh, that's such a difficult kind of call to make, but Jo going to get the 1 versus 2. I think you just back off in towards Ivy and play the time. Benefit of hindsight, of course. All the same, 1 win. They drop another round. Nemiga ahead by 3, and they are clutching up in some pretty intense situations.
Yeah, for sure. And certainly reflecting on the map as the whole, There's been a lot of chaotic rounds, hasn't there, on this A bomb site after the bomb has been planted. A lot of close after-plants, clutch situations, and this time alone, Nemiga looking pretty good. Nice stuff from them. Is still in a position here where one win, they're really struggling to get any traction actually on this T side. If CT side was so clean earlier on, but this T side struggling for entry, struggling for map control, and Nemiga, for my money, are getting a lot of space here to play as they choose. They're having a field day actually on the CT side.
I tell you what, I'll hold the point. Jo, meanwhile, going to play up aggressive in a really good spot here. Great flash comes over the top as well. He's able to make it away. Absolutely fantastic stuff there as they, you know, are reading into a B play for the first time in a while, and they do very well to find themselves the man advantage. Can they hold on to it? That, of course, is the question. 3 players in close proximity. Basic flashes coming in. No frag found. There it is, glowing, looking crisp. Flamey, actually, for that one, as he's able to find chill. So, looking pretty good here, 4 versus 3, but look at the HP bars, so damn low. These A1Ss through smokes, we know for a while have been pretty deadly. There goes one. 2 more set up and ready. That was actually the bomb as well. Makes life awkward. Round the side, in comes another. Deco now finds himself low. He does get one, traded instantly, and the bomb has yet to be planted. Glowing, the only one left against 2. If you can find the M4 cleanly, and the HP becomes a non-factor, but they both move on to rifles now, and they will eventually overwhelm him. It's close again, but Nemiga looking really good when the pressure is on, actually.
In terms of team play, they seem so much more composed than at the start of that T side. The crossfires are good, the utility is good, they're playing off each other well. Rotates look fairly nice as well for good measure, and one win. Grouping up, trying to force out a sight hit, maybe a slight sign of desperation, and you can't blame them on this T side. What has worked so far? They've only had one really close round for my measure where they'd had entries and gained space, so where do you move from here? And it's just the half by this time around, and considering the round haul for Nemiga, is economic damage here even enough? Feels like they might need to take the round.
Yeah, absolutely. It does feel like a win is kind of required. There it is. Okay, glowing. Double with the Tech 9. Jo. Nice bit of movement. That is a great find, but he just gets overwhelmed, unfortunately. Does everything that he possibly can in a scenario like that, but what can you do, really? Here we look at a 3 versus 2. I think they might just go for the save, but if you give them a killer cross in the early retake, they will think more about it. They've got plenty of cash available, so looking good. Above the smoke. Chill finds another. This is really dangerous stuff now. Deco, the only one left. We're in another place where it looked very good, but it's managed to slip through their fingers. Deco left low. He gets traded out, and the defuse will be there. I think the body language, maybe not so much from Bellatronok as it is, but from his teammate was certainly like, man, I think we got to save this one, dude. And he was like, nah, give me a sec. And he finds himself a cheeky one above the smoke. So one win, as I said about Nemiga in the early game, really not helping themselves in these scenarios.
Yeah, for sure. And certainly, if the last few rounds are anything to go by, you got to ask a lot of questions about these afterplants from one win. Doesn't feel like they're playing off each other as well as they could be. Maybe not getting the best use out of their remaining nades, but from what was a great start to the first half, Nemiga up to 14, one win. Yet to get much done at all on this CT side. T side even. So we'll see what they choose to change, and both that's a nice entry, swiftly traded. Make it a second for Idis Balances. I think he's had enough of all the Deco highlight reels. He wants one for himself.
Indeed. But it does feel a bit weird, doesn't it? You know, we've got the likes of Deco. Glowing was looking good in the first half. Flamey is fairly consistent with the kills, right? But the supporting act, as it were, Fostar is definitely one that you point a finger at here. 10 kills, 22 deaths. That's a lot of deaths, guys. That is a lot of deaths. Considering we've had 23 rounds, this would be round number 24. You know. Yeah. I'll let it sit. It's difficult to point fingers, but certainly does feel to me that it's hard, right? If they were super close in the scoreline and a lot of close clutches and things, we have seen some clutches for sure, but this T side, I don't think that numbers and frags are necessarily going to paint the full picture. So there is something deeper at the moment for one win that is proving to be a problem. Idis Balance. Not going to be flashed off. Finds Deco. Oh, and he gets a second. I thought he'd been taken down fast enough, but he gets the bullet off just in time. That leaves it all down to Travis against 4 in total. Now just 3. Might be able to get the bomb plant in here. Trying to bait out some peaks, of course. I think a flank coming in behind him as well. And, of course, not a lot of time to work with. Jay will take him down easily enough. And now Nemiga hitting map point and looking down the barrel of a flawless CT side.
Yeah, and also no bomb plant. That means Flamey and Glowing are really lacking for funds. So I imagine they'll be dropping onto Galil's. And it looks like Idis Balance, he's been to the Deco school of Warping Ivy. Looking good there. Picked up a trick or two from the first half. And now it's Nemiga looking good. Brilliant CT side thus far. And we're asking a lot of questions on one win. They got to change something up on this T side. And obviously they have to do it right now. This is going to be map over.
Well, this might be the way to do it. Fast and aggressive. Fostar's found one. The nade was going to finish off Idis Balance. Had to get out of there. They weren't quite in position to deal with him. Nonetheless, you know, it's a quick frag and some quick damage. A lot of control in the first 30 seconds of the round. And it looks like they're going to act off of it. Get those smokes in. Nice nade here as well. Glowing does a lot of damage to box. A bit more to Idis Balance. So things looking pretty damn good for one win. Best that they've looked, at least in the early round situations, for quite some time. Ooh, and an awkward switching there from the CT side results in a kill for Fostar. Another one coming in for him. I had certainly pointed the finger, but he's looking good in this round with that AK. Keeping it real, keeping it going, and a 5-on-3 that looks very doable.
Another nade. Onto Glowing. Player up close on the left-hand side behind this smoke, and Deco just about spots out Jeo. Nice frag from him. 5-on-2 now as maybe Nemiga consider the save. Problem for them is Flamey's already in behind. Slit the net, or it almost got caught there from the side by Ochonok. But Flamey finds the frag, and it seems nigh on impossible that the Idis Balance is going to save this one. So overall, nice injuries from one win. Kept it clean, clean execute, and so far plenty of numbers alive as well for good measure, as slowly but surely closing in on Idis Balance, and only 5 rounds to even it up. It's not like the CT money is out of control. Overtime could be doable here.
Maybe. Maybe not now you've said it, of course. The old classic. Maybe I should have just said Nemiga, easy win from here, and then in overtime in no time. But now you've done both, though. You know, you've covered your bases. You've covered your bases with both, so we'll see. We shall see indeed. It's shaken up the apple cart, as my friend from across the ocean would say. But whether they're able to keep it going...
I have never heard that saying.
I think it's an American one, for sure. But Darth Mike, you know Mike, he says it a fair bit. And I kind of like it. So I'm borrowing it for now. We've got a couple of frags that have come in, though, of course. Well, it's got to be done sometimes. Things looking good for one win, though. Needed this round, of course, but a very, very key one to get cleanly, you would argue, and make sure that nobody is saving here on the Nemiga side. It's going to give them a very good chance. So far, Alan, it looks like you were maybe on the money with the prediction that we could possibly maybe see an overtime.
Regression here.
Remaining...
2 players in the angles. Oh, it was a nice idea, to be honest. You're man down. You got to try something aggressive, but yeah, they're just ready and waiting, and looking very easy now for one win to close this one out.
Oh, Chill trying. Deco in with the flash. We'll take him down, though. Of course, it's Belchonok in Chill's sheep's clothing. Nonetheless, 4 more to go. Yeah, and the money's just absolutely in the bin. I would argue Idis Balance going for a P250 here is maybe even a bit too much. Deagle out for Belchonok, as it is. And then Jay with a P250 as well. So we don't have a lot to write home about here, is the point. Maybe take a gun away. 1 win. Looking to play thick and fast in the early stages. Do need to be careful. They'd be walking into a stack. It's just some early nades, though. And, of course, posting up on the angles.
One aspect I think we have to mention is because Nemiga's loss bonus hadn't built up at all, only 2,400 after presumably losing this eco round. So the next buy isn't going to be great. There's going to be no open play. They're going to be lacking on nades. Maybe no kits either. In this sort of respect, is actually only on the pistols. And somehow we found an entry. AK is well recovered. Surely one win. Not like this. You can't fall apart here.
It would be quite something, wouldn't it? Glock out. Why is he on 3 burst? What are you doing? Bloody hell. Certainly giving me a bit of a fright there, to be honest. I'm sure he was as well. I don't think he meant to do that. Nonetheless, gets the kill. Just about gets away. They've got the bomb plant on the B bomb site. And I disbalance. There it is. You know, he gets the kill with the P250. That gives the kill reward. He's now got himself an AK and a smoke. So he's laughing all the way to the bank with the P250 purchase. They should be able to save it here as well by the looks of things. Even going to use the smoke, possibly, if anyone comes their way. So, 1 win. They bring it within 3 for the overtime. But Nemiga still giving us a bit of taste of some of that chaos, some of that craziness that we know them for.
Beautiful stuff. AK saved, and the overall point I was just about to get to before the carnage ensued was that we're going to see it here. This buy is not going to be perfect from Nemiga. So realistically, there's only 1 full buy round between 1 win and overtime if they keep this clean. Of course, though, up against the A1Ss are a little bit cheaper. You can still get some nades in place. So maybe we shouldn't fully rule out Nemiga here, but 1 win. Much easier on the eyes now, the scoreline. Overtime in our first cast of 2022. Are we going to see it?
I'll leave it up to the CS gods. I'm not going to give my opinion. But it would be the way that the season starts, right? Of course, you know. Always the way. Push coming in here. Still got to be careful. Does manage to find the kill. Tag lands. It's minimal. It's a pretty big frag for Nemiga. Of course, leaving 1 win with 4. So things looking good in the early stages. 1 win have to fight up the hill as they have been doing this entire second half. And they look a little stuck for ideas, to be honest with you.
Plenty of nades, though. That's the good news. So they gain some ground towards looking like the A-bomb site at the moment. They can exec well. Some nice utility down. And really, it's only chill in defense. Look at the stack here from Nemiga. 2 mid, head stacking in mid, higher, lower. 2 on B. They could really pay the price here, commit full retake. And now the nades are starting to land. And presumably, 1 win should get an easy bomb plant in this scenario. Chilly, though. He still hasn't been checked. Maybe he's got an opportunity.
Possible. Very, very possible. First start. Able to back away a little bit, but doesn't win the fight. Another kill coming in. Chonok, as it is, doing a great job so far in this round. Will melt down, however. Missed shot from Flamey. Trying to get the double scope in. Loses his teammate. Going to get overwhelmed here. It's a 4 versus 2 to hold on. Clean headshot found. And now just Travis. Another clutch required. Not going to happen. Gets taken down. And Nemiga will find it. 16-12. Definitely the run back there in the end from 1 win looking good. But we missed an awful lot from them on that T side. It took a while to get going. Of course, the Vertigo pick for Nemiga comes up strong in the end. It looked dodgy in the start, but they run it back pretty well. We'll be back with Dust 2 after a quick break, folks. Don't go anywhere.
We laugh and we stop, we try not to talk about